Pledge allegiance. Tony, help us out here, buddy.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Attendance is by signature. We have a quorum of 14. Public comment. It doesn't mean talk. It means if you want public comment. Yeah, it's not. No public comment. Approval of September 7th, 2016 minutes. Do I have a motion? Previously distributed. Mr. Glass, motion. Have a second, Mr. Smith. Anything on the question? All in favor? Any nay? Okay. Treasurers, no, correspondence. See correspondence.
All right, from AMR, a course application for EMT pilot research, CC pilot research, paramedic pilot research. From Erie County EMS course application. From Erie County EMS, another course application. From Erie Community College, course applications. From Cardiac Life, a PAD application for Heritage Centers in Cheektowaga. From Niagara Medical Management, PAD application for North Bailey Fire Company. From Loves, Mark Butler, Statement of Services for CONs. From Cardiac Life, PAD application for Heritage Centers in Tonawanda, New York. From Erie County EMS course applications. From Honeywell UOP LLC, PAD application for Honeywell. New York State Department of Health enforcement notification for John Huey, EMT number 307098 from Depew, New York, violation of 10 New York's Part 800.16A1 and 816A4. His license was revoked effective 10/5/16, and he was assessed a civil penalty of $5,000. From Cardiac Life, a PAD application for Trinity United Methodist Church. That is all.
Anything for correspondence? Treasurer's report, Ms. Barber.
To date, we have expended $10,770.37. We still have remaining $14,229.63. Quarterly claims for the first and second quarters have been submitted to the state. Questions?
How's the gateway?
Gateway's fun. Coming along, I have a couple, if you should know, you can. A couple things, I just have to get in touch with one of the representatives to find out how to download certain.
Well, we appreciate everything you do. What people don't know is the Grants Gateway is quite a challenging thing to negotiate and navigate, and she's been working pretty hard, consistently trying to keep us up with the Grants Gateway. So I appreciate what you do, and so does Neil, because he doesn't have to do it. Anything for the treasurer report? We have a motion to accept it? Oh, yeah, there we go. Ms. Fisher, we have a motion. Tony, second. Anything on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Medical Advisory Committee. Nothing happened, right? New York State Council, the saga continues. We still have you listed as the representative. You haven't been there though, right? Okay. And there's been no news to vetting. Both Brian Brunner and my name are still in with no communication since our last meeting. Do you have anything happening there?
No, the meeting notes that I took from September attached to my report. I'll make those things.
Okay, thanks. Erie County. Tracy, would you talk about our Ready Erie for a moment?
So Erie County has launched a new preparedness app similar to what some of the other counties currently have, Niagara, Genesee, Orleans. The features are a little bit different depending on what mode you go in. You can download it for free in the iTunes or the Google Store.
I'll put you on the spot about Reckitt tomorrow.
Bracket tomorrow, if you have been getting emails from Cheryl or myself about Bracket, we basically are just alerting the whole distribution list, and we're trying to see about number of contacts we can have. If you have some time and you wanna play, it's a regional winter weather scenario being conducted by the New York State Department of Health. 17 counties of Western New York are playing the exercise. We will be activating the Erie County Emergency Operations Center tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon, doing a functional exercise with our public health and medical ESF 8 and mass care ESF 6. So many of the members of that work group will be in attendance. Many of you are actually listed as either the primary or the alternate for whatever agency you represent. So you've been getting emails. There is a website, it's rugged2016.com. So I sent out, in addition to the email Cheryl sent, just the link for the actual weather maps and the power outages and the road closures that are based on the scenario. So when we send out questions asking what your agency is doing, how you're affected, what your critical needs are, it's based on the current weather scenario, which is basically tons of snow, travel is restricted, the 90 is closed, and people are basically stuck where they are. So that'll be tomorrow, and the exercise has been going on all week, and we'll wrap up Friday with the after action webinar, and that'll be it until the real live.
Can you tell me what Reckitt stands for?
Western Regional Emergency Communications and Information Test or something like that.
You got 5 more than I got. Right. So that goes after, that happens tomorrow.
The emails have gone out today, and you actually will be getting an alert in the New York State Health Commerce System, either later tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll decide when we're gonna send it. But if you've ever gotten an alert from the State Health Department system before, you have to click to acknowledge. We're keeping track of their confirmation rate, so just please click on the link to acknowledge. It just basically means that you've received the alert and the communication information we have for you is correct. Any questions? Concerns?
Thank you so much. Anything for Erie County? Wyoming County? What's happening? It's there.
We're working on 911, but everybody's working on 911.
Anything on stress? JT, you got any information on stress? I haven't gotten
Personal
that
or-
report.
Personal or agency?
No, you look like you're stressed.
Nothing. Been kind of quiet.
I'll ask to get a report for next meeting. Before we start our reports, can I go to our attorney? Well, we'll wait until you. Yeah. All right. Budget, anything from Mr. Santoro? I haven't gotten anything. Is it time to put together a new budget, Madonna? Do we have time?
Excuse me?
Where are we as far as budget? We starting the budget?
Starting.
Planning for it? No?
I don't, we meant to work on starting the new budget yet.
Okay. Membership, Ms. Lapp.
Okay, currently we have, Erie County has 13 full members, 1 alternate. Wyoming County has 12 members. I do have 3 applications for Erie County and 1 for Wyoming County that you can accept into membership tonight. The Erie County would be alternates, and it would be, Donald Trepaz, Donald Turner, and Thomas Maxium, and then from Wyoming County would be Lonnie Brandon. So I make a motion, we accept the, and that fills our registers.
Okay, so we're making a motion to accept all 4. Okay. Well, all right. We have a second? Anything on the question?
And just a quick question, we're gonna have 3 alternates then in Erie and 1? You'll have 4 Erie alternates and no Wyoming.
So is the roster
The rest are
full
else on the question? Sir?
Eric Art didn't get in there. I see his name was on here as well.
Right.
It's pending, and I have them listed in the order that I received their applications.
Okay. Thank you.
And there are other applications coming in, some will be endorsed. Okay, any other questions? We'll vote with one verbal vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nay? All right. Do you have any idea what you guys are getting yourselves into? Welcome on. Anything else, membership?
Nope, that'll do it.
Systems, Mr. Bronner.
Still the two pending applications from Fortune Park, they've delivered to us tonight. Some of the items that were still being met on, so we have received a second binder and a check for $7,500 for the fee. And we are working a schedule to meet the next week with the committee to make a decision on the completeness of the applications from Strikersville and Orchard Park. We'll have that scheduled later tonight or tomorrow. And I believe, if I'm correct in this, we need to seek permission or authorization from the council as a whole for the CON committee to appoint a hearing officer in either or both cases as the completeness is determined or move forward.
We accomplish that meeting? Does it have to be in person, Mr. Butler, or?
I've spoken to Mr. Brunner, and the meetings can be done electronically. There are provisions for that state law so that we can accomplish, as we have in the past, the meeting of the CON or Systems Committee. And we've made arrangements to make that happen in like 7 days and progress those forward. The other issue that the committee is going to request, as Brian did, is authorization to engage hearing officers for the purposes, once those applications are deemed complete, given the calendar and all of those other factors that influence the time process. We'd like to have that authorization to move forward, and I'll make recommendations with regard to the
Okay, so it comes as a seconded motion from the committee?
No, it's actually, in the original, it would be an original motion, not second, it would be the second, Mr. Chairman.
So we have a motion? Very good. Do you have a second? To authorize them to get a hold of a hearing officer and to help move things along so we don't have a big lapse between meetings?
Okay.
We have a second from Cheryl. Anything else on the discussion? All in favor? Any nays? No nays. All right. Good? All right, great. So we get that moving along. Training and Ed, Mr. Zemrak.
Received applications and they're in a file cabinet in the basement.
Please do not have a flip. Should the council be looking into some kind of storage facility or something that we can start putting some stuff into? So I'm not that I don't trust you, but I could just see you a little tequila, nothing else to do, and put downstairs.
I think we need someplace to put the stuff.
And then we could just transfer key if somebody allows you to use the secretary. Would you look into that first?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
Given that they're records of the agency, there are some record retention requirements and concerns. I'll be glad to work with the secretary and secure proposals to put before the council in its next regular meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Does anything, sir?
And thank you, Scott, for getting dinner tonight.
Oh. I thought there was a little.
It was a healthy choice.
You poisoned me. Ms. Barber?
I was just wondering about the records retention policy. That was one of the
Glass.
We were to have a meeting on September 22nd. I unfortunately had to cancel that. I apologize. Work-related event came up that I had to cover, so that obviously took precedence. At the present time, the bylaw that was going to be proposed, several other, shall we say, amendments to it came to light. So, with the recent knowledge of an individual trying to circumvent the system and trying to kick some well-seasoned individuals off to keep this committee running, I decided to pull back all bylaws until this council decides what they want to do. Do we want to move forward as a professional group, or do we just want to make sure that we get rid of people? So in my opinion, was viewed that other individuals who wanted to join would be secured a position. Because if we want to go completely by the bylaws as present, I think some individuals aren't going to be happy with
Okay.
what'll happen.
I think we've resolved the term question is what you're relating to. And as soon as Mr. Butler swallows, we'll ask him. Mr. Butler's looking
Well,
into it.
just let me finish one thing. I was very outraged at the way this was done. The executive committee should have been involved in this, and they were not even approached. It was just the table members. Something like this, the executive board should have been engaged, and they were not. So I will turn it over now to Mr. Butler.
Okay. Well, we didn't have an executive meeting either, so that was canceled. So, but
Should have been copied on the correspondence.
okay. Mr. Butler has looked into something at the request of Chair-elect Brunner as far as the term questions, and I'll just turn it over to Mr. Butler.
There was a question that arose that Ryan brought to Greg's attention, and then I was asked to opine with regard to term limits as might be stated in bylaws. And we reviewed the bylaws. I did email everyone the memo that I generated with my counsel. I do that there are extra copies at the top table, if anyone would like to review that. But my counsel is fairly clear. It's evident in the memo. The question that was posed is attached is the email, so that everybody was aware of that. And I think that in conferring with Brian, the issue is pretty well resolved. The issue of term limitations, if they need to be stated as a matter of policy, that's something the council should consider and state with some specificity. But under the circumstances, I think we laid it all out in the memo. If there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer those. Very good.
Thank you. No.
Quickly, just so everybody's aware of what's being referenced, I am the one who originated the email. The email was not, as previously characterized, an attempt to have anybody removed from the council. It was a question of whether it was compelled by the bylaws. I was simply asking a question, one which I had asked in person, many of the people present and some of those who took offense, and have not received an answer at any given point, and was seeking the permission of the other officers of the organization. I do apologize you weren't copied on that. I had posed the question to the other seated officers simply to get permission to take it to Mark and get Mark's opinion. It wasn't an attempt to have anybody removed. It was an observation that we have a phrase in the bylaws which easily, I believe, could be construed to limit terms, and a question of whether or not we were in compliance. So any offense that was taken, I apologize that it was construed in such a manner. It was never intended in that way. It was simply a clarifying question, as I think everybody can read the email that I sent. My hope was and remains that Mark would be able to explain it in such a way that it would not be as I interpreted it. That's how I closed the message. That's how I started the message. That's how I feel now. And it was not
else for bylaw?
Not at the present time.
Nothing for awards? Program agency.
The report was circulated, again, just a couple of high points off of this, and then I'll also tie in the CMAC-SEMSCO meeting minutes. The New York State BLS first response update continues. Hot off the press from the Bureau today, we have 7 departments that have not complied with this request and are probably going to face deactivation of their BLS first response code. I'm going to identify them in the hopes that we can all work together to encourage these services to become compliant. Buffalo Fire is one of them. East Aurora Fire Department is another. Highview Fire Company is another. Ucrest Fire Company is another. Kenmore Fire Department, as well as North Boston and Boston Fire Companies. So if you have associates in any of those departments, please, I'm just bringing this up because that's really what our function is here. And if they deactivate their code or make them in inactive status or archive it, different terms you'll hear, what this does is that forces these services to have to pay for their EMT training, for number one. So they would not be eligible for state funding, and a few of these services are enrolled in the CME-based recertification program that would effectively punt them from that program. They would not be eligible to participate. I have the correspondence from the central office in terms of how many times they've attempted to reach out. We're on third request here. And so you can imagine that the Bureau is out of patience and they're going to deactivate this. And I will share with you from a credentialing standpoint for the region, some of the departments that are listed on here are the same ones we have problems with getting credentials out of them for the annual credentialing. So anything you can do to help the Bureau with this initiative, I'm sure would be greatly appreciated. The time is drawing nigh where they're going to deactivate. So, we continue to do rollouts with the web-based, the agency and provider portal. So those are moving along, not as quickly as we had hoped, but we really need to keep pressing on with that. We have a reporting function that we expect to be rolled out the next couple of weeks for us to start trying so that we can, again, continue building the system and have it become more and more robust. Check and inject, they're in state council. They are hoping, and they have made a proposal to the state health commissioner to have check and inject become a permanent thing and not just a pilot project. And as of today, I give you the breakdown rather of the number of services in each county by the service type who are enrolled. There have been 45 check and inject administrations across all of New York State as of today. 3 of them were in Erie County. Wyoming County has not had any yet. We are planning an EMS officer training course. The date has been selected for Saturday, February 4th. The location is, it's going to end up being in Elma. They've kind of given me the wink, the nod, and the handshake, but it just hasn't been completely finalized through their process. But February 4th, that's usually a well-attended event with about 120 people, and we have what I affectionately refer to as groupies who come every year because they like it. So I would encourage anybody, you don't have to be an officer, but if you just want to learn more about the system and the ins and the outs, I welcome you to come to the training. We have a preceptor training course that's been scheduled at AMR on Monday, November 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. This has not been pushed out on our listserv, and it was simply because the registration form, our webmaster has been out of the country and was not able to get this thing up. I did get it this evening. It's going to go out first thing tomorrow morning. You will see this hit the inbox. And I am also in discussion with Twin City. They also have a need for a preceptor course, so we are going to be scheduling those logistics, and we'll get that information out, and it would likely be open to everyone there too. The Greater Buffalo EMS Conference, the dates are set for the spring. That's April 21st and 22nd. Hopefully, many here took advantage of our partnership with AMR for the resuscitation symposium that's taking place this weekend at the Seneca Niagara Resort Casino. The attendance is quite strong for that. We're very pleased with the way that that went. We have been in discussion with Erie Community College, specifically the South Campus, to offer a certified lab instructor course for early 2017. At this point, we know we have a plethora of candidates who are already teaching and need the program, and so we're at the point now where we're just picking dates and setting up the faculty to teach the program. If we need to offer more than one program, we're going to do it. As of today, I received numbers from New York State. This might be of interest to you. Not snooze off here. We have in Erie County 41 CICs. Wyoming County, they're listed as 5, but I think there's actually an error on one of those. I have to check on it, but if not, it's 4. And for CLIs in Erie County, we have 15. So we actually almost we have almost 3 times the number of CICs in Erie County that we have CLIs. And in Wyoming County, there is 1 CLI who's listed, potentially 2, because I'm not, again, the one person I'm not, I think we're actually doing the CLI. So, so anyway, there's definitely a need for CLI classes, and we are going to be offering that. The BLS 12-lead EKG program is something that there were draft documents that were presented at the last REMAC meeting. They were adopted with a few changes. I expect to have the final version of that really any day now so that we can push that out and have services get enrolled in that. It's, again, intended to be turnkey. There are a number of CME opportunities that are coming up that I would encourage people to take advantage of. Free stuff. ABGs, end-tidal CO2 at Mercy Flight, orthopedic trauma, a session in Twin City, and also one in Wyoming County. And Twin City also has another one that was just pushed out today, the Pulse nightclub active shooter incident. Scott Freiberger, who's somebody who was formerly from Western New York, is the Regional Emergency Medical Response Advisor for the Florida Health Department. He's going to come up and do an after-action report on that. I think that would be very interesting to go to, so FYI. On to, I think that pretty much hits everything in that part of the report. On to CMAC SEMSCO. We've previously discussed about the conference calls that are going on statewide on a number of issues that are affecting EMS, and these conference calls are really intended to sort of get a picture of what the state of EMS is in New York State. We always hear about the doom and the gloom and services closing down and the issues that are facing our EMS workforce and the challenges that everyone needs to overcome. This is an opportunity really for the leaders from across the state to speak with the leaders of the state council, the state health department, the CMAC, and bring these issues forward. They're hoping to draft, I guess, a so-called EMS white paper at the end of it, so that we kind of really know where things are at and can start to get a footprint for moving forward for how we're going to shape the EMS system in the future. Maybe a little bit of semantics, but as somebody who's, I guess, an administrator in the EMS system, I feel the pain on this. Agencies are encouraged to get agency-based email accounts for their providers versus having individual provider email accounts. Anybody who knows that as the officers change often frequently, it's very difficult to get in touch with the appropriate people within these services. So if you have agency-based accounts, the idea is that EMS captain at ABC Fire Company will go on to the new EMS captain when after the last guy is 3 months into it and realizes it's not all cracked up to be. And so it's just important for agency continuity. We see this with operating certificates, especially where people have to renew their operating certificates and the message doesn't get to the appropriate person, and the next thing you know, they didn't get the paperwork in on time and they're facing, they have a statement of deficiency, and credentialing can certainly be lumped in as a part of that. Important county training communications, another thing. So that's something that they're asking departments to really start working on. For the paramedic services, the BNE is authorized to increase the amount of fentanyl that EMS services can carry. The actual maximum dose has not been determined as of the last message I knew, but they're working with the BNE to get that situated. There's a bill that's passed the Senate and the Assembly requiring background checks for do background check for determine if anyone has a history of sex offenses. It's not yet been signed by the governor. This is something that exists in the fire service already, but sounds like it maybe has sort of missed the non-volunteer fire department services as a requirement. state and determine what the future is for that level of care, whether it's going to be a level that will continue, whether it is going to sunset, or whatever's going to happen with it. And so it's a pretty emotional topic, especially in kind of outside of this region. We have a number of CCs in the Wyoming-Erie region, but our friends to the north and south have a lot, and there's definitely a bunch in North Country and Long Island. So what the Bureau is asking to allow the tag to do the work. There is representation, I believe, from every region on this tag, so no region should be underrepresented, and they're going to come back with a report to figure out what's going to happen. CCs are not a part of the national standards. There was a commitment to go to the national standards in 2012. This is the issue that they're addressing. They need to have an answer for this moving forward. If they're going to keep it, they may have to update curriculum or do something else. The systems, yeah, go ahead.
Andy sent that question out today to send the numbers of the AEMT, CCs, and paramedics. You taking care of that, or?
Ooh, I didn't even see it. When did it come out?
Today, 3:07.
I thought I checked. I'll look for it. If I didn't get it, I'll get it. Did it go out of the Google groups or which of the server did it go?
It looks like it went just to the Rumscos.
Okay.
Allow me to forward.
Yeah, forward that. And I will take care of it because I still have our database. And then the systems committee, last thing, systems committee had a significant discussion regarding the number of services that are in distress and going out of business. And so this is nothing new. We're hearing it in other parts of the state. It seems like it is becoming a bigger and bigger issue than it is here. But I will tell you, and probably our friends from the county, both counties can tell you, we hear this every day about what are we going to do, because it looks like the end is drawing nigh. And so they're looking at it. There were no solutions. There was a lot of discussion. Stay tuned. I think a part of this kind of ties back to the conference calls. You were there. I don't know if you have other things you want to add, not only to that topic, but the things I may not have covered.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Closure planning's a big issue.
I can
Yeah.
feel it.
I got nothing. Maybe it was a long conversation about making sure that communities have a plan in place for the inevitable when agencies start to close.
Okay.
I've got a thing for you here. Just a couple updates on the your website there. Maybe I can explain it more.
Sure.
Yeah. Before I get kicked off, I'd like to get my name on it. Well, that's everyone. Thanks much. Anything for program agency?
We've had 2 meetings, and we have a third one set for November 29th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Old business, I'm assuming the bylaw changes are on hold?
Yes.
Okay. Any other old business?
Mark, where do we stand on the incorporation process?
Oh,
I have the documents drawn. I'm waiting for some comparison stuff that my contact at UH is suggesting, and I'll have them distributed shortly for consideration.
Yep. Anything else for old business?
I'm not sure if this is old business or new business, but is
Go
there
for
a
it.
central repository somewhere, policies and procedures?
Somewhere there. Do you have any,
Do we what?
do you have any, policies and procedures that you keep with the bylaw? Or is it just the bylaw?
Yeah. When they set up, they got set with it.
Okay.
Did you forward them to me? And the new members, because they obviously have.
Those are,
We should have some kind of new member education that we can.
those are in sad need of revamping also.
So we'll get something out of that. The new folks, can you meet with Ann to make sure you have all your contact information that you need, or do you need more stuff? You can, okay, you never mind. Good. Any other old business? New business? Hearing no new business? All right, Mr. Mahalko?
One small thing, November 15th, the EMS field director Lee Burns will be doing a EMS organizational question period at the Niagara County Public Safety Building at 7 o'clock. Open anybody. Very similar to what she did at the EMS conference, except she's wearing a flat jacket this time. It's open to anybody. I know it's Niagara County, but they kind of requested the big leagues conference. It's November 15th, 7 o'clock, and 5574 Niagara Street. Just look for the jail and go 1 mile.
Is she gonna be in the jail, or is she gonna be in the? Oh, I'm sorry, I had to beat you.
I was told to bring jail money, so
All right.
Should be an orange.
that's all I have.
You know, no offense. Ms. Mayor.
I really did have something to say.
Oh, okay.
I did think about it when you were talking about Wyoming County. We did get a grant from the New York State Department of Health to study EMS. I believe it was $334,000 to work with a consultant. If Tony was here, he could speak to that. When you were back on your awards committee, another organization I affiliate with just was sharing that they carry over awards that didn't have a nominee. You know how sometimes we'll have some of those categories that we don't have any submissions? They will carry over nominees for just 1 year. Sometimes we have lifetime achievement that we'd like to submit. Just a food for thought, maybe sometime rather than us not having a person to slide into one of those categories, that we look at some of those that were submitted from the year before. Don't be whispering about me. I'm gonna be texting you. I know you're talking.
All right, I do that.
You do that?
Yeah.
Good, thank you for being so, ahead of the game.
Thank you
I
for supporting my
want to
decision.
be behind.
And Cheryl's name was spelled wrong, but that's okay, you can leave it there. Thank you. I'm in need of a nominating committee. Does anybody want to offer their services, or should I just go along the list and? As the chair of the nominating committee is Dr. Bellatier.
Second.
Oh, look who's here. We have a chair.
You need one from each county.
What?
You need a rep from each county.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna send out some email requests. I think you'll find it harder to say no if I email you or call you. That can be pathetic.
Well, you need to do it tonight because then we need nominations off the floor.
We can still take the nominations off the floor, can't we? It doesn't have to come from the
We
committee.
need a nominating committee to do it.
But then that means I have to pick the people who are here.
And just pick, I'll do it.
All right. Pick your committee.
Because then in the, Ann, you wanna join?
Sure.
All right.
Come on, buck up, let's
Ann
go.
already did. Ann already did.
I know, I got her down.
All right.
We need more, don't we?
1 and 1, so you.
That's it? All
Yeah,
right.
Just the vet. All right. Who's up? Hey, can't remember.
And, well, I know I'm done.
So what position? Chris, you were just, weren't you? Didn't we just do you last year? Madonna, no, you're up and it's gotta be you and the chair-elect. Cause Madonna, you just came on board, right?
Yeah, we just took you over from Neil. Neil snuck in before. All right, so that's
It's
right.
gotta be Chris, it's gotta be the chair, or secretary and the chair-elect. All right, so we'll do chair-elect first. All right, open nominations from the floor for, chair-elect. Nominations for chair-elect second. Chair-elect for third. Make a motion to close nominations.
Make a motion,
Close nominations.
close the nomination.
Second. Sorry, second. Someone second, please.
They did.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. And this, that doesn't mean just because no nomination, or no names were brought forward, we still have, and we usually give till December 15th, a chance for you to send your name in to myself or Ann, so we can vet that you and make sure that you're qualified for the position and you meet all the standards. Open up nominations for secretary on the floor.
Nominate Chris Emmerich.
The stuff's in his basement.
you accept?
Yes.
That's easy.
Any other nominations for secretary? And third call for nominations for secretary from the floor.
I make motion. Close the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Carried. All right, so, the way the slate is at the moment, we need a name for chair-elect. And we have for secretary, Chris Emmerich. And again, I'll have Chris send out in the minutes that you can still submit your name if you wish to run for either of these positions, and we'll set the date at, hang on, I just want to do the calendar. By December 12th. And then we'll present the slate at the January meeting for elections. And again, send your name to either myself or Ian.
Nominate bar secretary.
Pardon me?
We nominate bar secretary. Are there any other positions for the executive board that need to be?
They come up next year.
Okay. You all set?
Yes.
Any other new business? New business?
I make motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, we have a second. We have multiple seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.